Praetorians. Okay, what would you like? I have one topic on this, so it's all yours again. What would you like to start with?
Well, I don't have much to say. I know we really want to hit off on
Good.
the immigration, but I do want to highlight something that is really bothering me.
Which
As
is?
you know, I walked away from this contract that I had, and I spoke to one of my sisters yesterday. And I have not, for those of you who don't know, I have not kept her up to date or up to speed with what's going on. She's very sensitive. She
A
is
snowflake.
of, I don't want to call her a snowflake because I don't think she's quite that ridiculous.
She's not there yet. Just give her a few more years.
Give her some time. Um, but what happened was I was explaining, well, I just walked away. And she wanted to know what was going on. Well, without going into too much detail, I said, well, I sent an email to one of the snowflakes. And before I could even finish what it was that I was saying or what the situation was, because I was talking about the harsh language, in the future. I was trying to tell her that example. And she went apoplectic, lost her loving mind. Do not ever use that word with me again. That is a politically charged word, and you know exactly where I stand on this issue. And I said, can I explain to you? She said, no, I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it.
Wow.
And that was pretty much the end of the conversation. And what she did say was, she did let me get in the harsh language in the future. And she goes, I'm quite sure that if you offended her, it was far more than that. Now, this is what I want to bring up.
Uh-huh.
I am so disturbed. I'm not offended. I am disturbed that she would take the side of somebody who she has never even heard of. I have never mentioned this or any of the people I was working with to her in the 5 weeks I was
Yeah,
there.
but it's a loyal. She's loyal to the tribe, so to speak.
And that's the problem.
Yeah,
And
I know.
that's the problem because I have always believed this, and I'm not particularly religious. I am religious, and I want to get into what faith I am. But I do think that once the breakdown of the church started in this
Yes,
society, the family started crumbling,
exactly.
and then the family couldn't depend on each other. So then you started creating these existential dependencies. So then you started getting these communities where people relied on themselves because nobody else understood them, and that's exactly what's going on. I mean, she took, without question, she took the side of an individual who, for all she knows, I could have been making up. You know,
You can like it or not, but the Roman Catholic Church is the founder of our Western civilization. You might like it or you might not, but that's how it is. Period.
but every I believe the fundamental of most religions does come down to the family. It's your
Oh yeah.
that's what godparents are for. If something
Yeah.
happens to you, that's why I have a godparent. You could, I mean, and I believe that her taking the side of an individual who she had never even heard of spoke volumes to me, and it disturbed me so much. But then it also goes back to the week of the election. I purposely did not speak to her that week because I saw all her social media feeds and I saw the bullshit. And I ran into some Hispanic man on the street corner, and we just cried, and I didn't even know his name.
Did she
And I
hug
was,
him?
I, I just I mean, I showed you that post when it happened, and I just thought, this is total bullshit. This is total bullshit. But it was just like all of the bullshit stories coming out about some Muslim getting,
Yeah.
assaulted in the bus. I mean, it was the same type of bullshit. But that same week, I found out that one of my dogs had cancer. And
Yes.
she equated, when I finally talked to her that weekend or whatever it was, she asked me how my week was, and I said it was pretty bad. I found out one of my dogs had cancer, and she was like, "Well, mine was far worse." And I'm like,
What?
what is it? Well, Trump got elected, and you know, I it baffled me so much. But what it goes to is exactly what you've been saying. It's a sickness. It's a sickness. There is no empathy. I just told you, I am your blood relative, your sister. I just told you that my dog has cancer.
Oh, there is an empathy. There is an empathy, but not for the family or the dogs, whatever. But there is an
Yeah,
empathy
you're
for
right.
illegal aliens. I told you.
Or to the snowflake that she never met, right?
Yeah, I told you that we used to have this slogan. I believe it was either in the major newspaper in Poland or on the banknotes. The snowflakes of all countries unite. Of course, not snowflakes, but socialists. The slogan was the socialists of all countries unite. I mean, there is nothing else to say.
It was on a bank bill. It was on the banknote.
Either bank bill, I don't remember, like a note bill, or for sure there was a slogan or on the biggest newspaper. You know, back then you had like one newspaper, okay, run by the government. So I don't even know what to compare. Okay, let's say if you had Wall Street Journal and the motto is when you buy the Wall Street Journal, you see the Wall Street Journal name, and then underneath the socialist of all countries unite.
Well, it's creating community, right? It's creating a community that you don't think you can find right down the hall in the home you grew up in. You know, it's breaking down the family.
Exactly. Let's move on. Seriously, we're gonna keep it under 35 minutes. As far as immigration, I found this subject really pissing me off because the Trump, again, you might like it, you might not like it, whatever. The guy, and I told you this before, I don't like law enforcement. Okay, I'm very far away from liking them, but the snowflakes are not leaving me any chance, and I have to defend the police, which I really don't like doing, but I have to, okay, because in this case they just try to implement the law, they just try to follow the law,
do their job,
and it's gone the whole what is it, hell breaking loose or whatever. I have this
hell in a handbasket.
Really nice. I'm gonna put the links, of course, to all the articles, but I'm gonna read it to you. At the Phoenix meeting, Armando Rios Peter, a senator of the leftist party of the Democratic Revolution, drew cheers when he called on the Mexican government to take a harder line with the Trump administration on its treatment of the migrants and other issues. So basically, Trump and the police is following the law, and this senator, so-called from the leftist party, is calling the Mexican government to do what? I really don't get it. So to break the law? Because Trump and police is not breaking the law, is following the law. So this guy is trying to what do you call it?
Wait, let me just back up for a second. Let me understand if am I correct in my understanding that the whatever circuit court
that's another. Okay, I know what this Mr. Senator is trying to do. He is calling the Mexican government to seize all anti-narcotics and anti-terrorism cooperation with the U.S. I mean, I'm gonna.
How is that going to hurt anybody
but the Mexicans? And I really don't know. But yeah, let's talk about what you just started to talk, because I have another article about it, because it says that in those 7 countries, okay, involved in the Muslim ban, so to speak, that not one terrorist came from those countries. And right now, we just found out that the 72 individuals which were already charged with the terrorism, they came from those 7 countries. From Somalia 20, from Yemen 19, Iraqi 19, Syria 7, Iran 4, Libya 2, Sudan 1, which totals 72. So, what are you going to tell about that?
Okay, so my understanding is that the overturning of the ban, or what, the ceasing of the of the ban, is because there was an identification of a religion in the language.
There wasn't. I don't think there was. No, that was the media. It didn't say anything about that it's a ban on Muslim. It was the ban on those 7 countries.
That's what my understanding was. There was no language about actually banning a religion, because I don't think that's not what this is at all.
No, there is a 200 million or 200 or whatever Muslim population in India. What about Pakistan? Of course, we're not talking about Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia is not gonna be banned at all, ever, never, whatever.
Didn't they just get the award for anti-terrorism?
Yeah. What about Turkey? Here you go. The Turkey,
There you go.
that is like quite some millions of so it's not a Muslim bomb. That's of course I think every thinking human knows it wasn't about the Muslim. Okay, it was just about the ban. But the problem is that the judge from that court lied or was misinformed or it wasn't informed enough because 72 people that were charged with the terrorism came from those 7 countries. Okay, so
we're going to have to do a little bit more research right now because from a legal standpoint, I'm a little confused because I just don't see that a judge would overturn a ban just by saying, oh, there's no terrorists coming here, a presidential order.
That's San Francisco. What do you expect?
I don't understand. These are federal judges. You have to give them some kind of credibility.
Unfortunately, I don't believe in judges anymore. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on this because I'm utterly confused. I'm utterly confused because
as far as another news on immigration, what about this Mexican woman who's been voted for
in Texas,
8 years?
Right? Voter fraud, right.
The voter fraud, yes.
Texas has a no bullshit stance on a lot of things. You go to Texas and you mess up, you're gonna pay for it. And yes, this was traditionally a very hard sentence. She got arrested and tried and convicted for voter fraud. She got 8 years prison, and more than likely she will be
but the problem is that she voted. She's been voted for like what, 8 years? So basically, she and countless millions of people like her elected Mr. Obama.
Well, her defense was laughable.
Yes,
she
I'm
didn't
gonna read you the defense. Okay.
Yeah, read the defense.
Her attorney said she has a learning disability and was confused about the difference between being a citizen and a legal resident, so she thought she was allowed to vote. Hold on a second. First of all, okay, I know how it works because when I got here and I was still legal because I had my visa, but I wasn't a citizen, and of course I didn't even have my green card. And wherever I was filling out the application for work, there was a question: are you a citizen or you're not? Okay. And of course I knew because someone told me that if you put yes, I'm a citizen, they cannot check it. So of course I was putting I'm a citizen, but I wasn't stupid enough to vote. That was just to get my job. So basically I wanted to work. I lied about my citizenship. Is there a statute of limitation about it?
Okay, let's just. You're legal. You're here. You have your whatever it is. You're permanent, whatever.
Okay. So my defense is I was really trying to get the job, which I did. Okay. So she cannot claim this learning disability because those are very straightforward questions. Are you or are you not?
Okay, so keep going through the defense. It gets better. There's more.
Oh, I mean, the jury didn't believe the story, right? Blah blah blah. So no, I don't see anything else. Do you have anything to add?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember, and I don't want to misquote it. But yes, I will pull the article out, and we will post it because her defense was laughable. I mean, there's no culpability. Nobody has any culpability anymore. Nobody's responsible for their own actions in today's day and age.
Because of course someone right away said, well, what's gonna happen? Because once she gets out of the prison and she's deported, does she bring her 4 minor children to Mexico? As a mother,
that's not my problem.
As a mother, I think that would be a difficult choice for her. It's not our problem.
Well, but the situation is her kids are U.S. citizens because we have this, this law that they're born here. But I mean, it goes back to the family. It is the responsibility of the family. She knew her parents I'm assuming she knew her parents brought her here as an infant. They were illegal. She's a permanent resident. I mean, if you want to ensure the stability of your family, I would assume as a mother and a parent, you would make sure that you go through all of the papers and all of the processes and the fees and whatever it is that you have to do to make sure that you stay in this country with your children.
But why would they do it? It costs money, it takes time and effort. They don't have to do it. I mean,
Well,
apparently. So right now, wow. I have so few friends that have been here for 20 years, and they are like that. I've been telling them for 20 years, listen, your first job to do here in America is to make sure that you become a citizen.
I
That's
have
it.
very little sympathy for that because
Yeah.
my grandparents came here legally. I mean,
Yes.
I have their immigration paper, their
Yeah.
landing papers. I mean, I'm sure it was arduous,
Uh-huh.
I mean, back in the 40s coming over here.
Yes.
But 40s and 50s when they came over here. But you know what? They did it. They did it legally.
And
And,
I like this article from New York Times. Of course, there's a picture of the mother like hugging the child. Like basically, it's like Trump is killing those people. Like let's say
separating
Hitler
the family.
in the 30s, okay, in Germany or Third Reich, whatever.
Oh.
The reports of the raids have immigrants racing for enforcement search. Okay, what immigrants? I'm an immigrant. Your grandparents were immigrants, okay? Those are illegal aliens. I mean, I don't get it. It's getting
No.
it's getting annoying.
Let's talk about it. You're not illegal, and my family is not illegal.
No, but
they
no,
are, right?
But I'm an immigrant. That's the immigration. What's the word of immigrant means? Someone who came from different country and yes, and blah blah blah, right? Those are not immigrants. Those are illegal aliens. Okay, that's it.
I agree.
It's just pissing me off that, as you said, no one has any responsibility. Well, I didn't do it. I didn't know.
It's not my fault.
I didn't.
So, I remember when I first started driving, and, I didn't know I didn't exactly pay attention to defensive driving and all the driving courses that you have to take to get your license as a teenager. And, my father caught me doing, I don't even remember what it was that I was doing. And I said, well, I didn't know. And he has said this to me throughout my life. He was like, not knowing is not a defense.
Yeah, not knowing the law is not a defense. That's it.
Period.
All right, we're going to end up on this one. So, Praetorians, if you are wondering why do I have my glasses on, because my eyes suck, okay? That's why. So, comment below. Okay.
Yeah, we have some work to do.
Ciao.